So like definitely maybe it's very important. I so like the Gaara versus Sasuke fight, like I'm definitely so different for like that currently like Gaara won't be actually stronger than Sasuke. It's definitely my person fair and right. So Sasuke would definitely be stronger than Gaara, but still I'm personally not think Gaara to defeat Sasuke in this fight. It's definitely my person friend. Like, I could be say I'm suffering for physical my person for reason that is basically solely due to like Orochimaru's like henchman, most likely his right hand man would be like precisely that person who might have among like the audience watching like the fight in like the scene like that. This guy is that like one of like the Andrew Black of definitely my consideration. So suppose they don't putting in like the software the jar of it like him to like secretly totally interfere with like the athletes tell them those little things to like keeping on interfering in like the fight using some sort of like also from like a remote distance from like that audience place things like using some sort of like a remote switch or something and they believe that the athletes still like totally constantly interfering into like Sasuke's fight against like Gaara, like the fight will be taking place and that is that alone like seriously affecting Sasuke's like fight performance against like Gaara. Definitely not going to enjoy it might be precisely done with like the fight intent and order from like Orochimaru. Because like since like Orochimaru's intent currently is precisely affect Sasuke, definitely not going to conclusion that like the strategy would be to like precisely like force Sasuke to like not being able to like use it and definitely to my impression that like by now like definitely with like that whole 1 month training that Kakashi without Kakashi gave to like Sasuke. Definitely right now Sasuke would be Sasuke still would have gained that extreme level of strength that like Sasuke currently would be able to like uh, uh, not only prevent his like Orochimaru's mark from taking over Sasuke the Sith will alone, but like basically on top of that, like constantly Sasuke would also currently would be having like the capability to also like use his own jutsu and simultaneously as well. It's definitely my personal right. So like I'm preferring Sasuke as like the Sasuke also Gaara fight then begins like Sasuke using all of his like jutsu and that straight away it's shocking and that totally shocking Sakura and not Naruto because like my personal impression is that I think like Naruto is not aware of like how like the master of Orochimaru and Sasuke like basically create the extreme used to like create this extreme limitation for Sasuke and prevent Sasuke from being like using it so definitely right now in like Sasuke's battle against the Gaara fighters the battle against terms of different like Sasuke so like such absolute ease and comfort like basically being able to like use all of this tech to his own resources definitely my own that only talks and that definitely the scenario that I'm bring but like I'm also bring but like my cousin Graham Rashid said, like Orochimaru might have totally anticipated such a scenario of Sasuke strengthening up his will and that way, like being able to like Sasuke being able to like fight against Gaara using his own will. So like so especially because of that reason, like Orochimaru might have precisely assigned with like precise just like top right hand henchman. So definitely what I'm saying something like that. Precise Anbu Black of this guy's person would be the name I was very much so like from like the audience like every time Sasuke would be using his own rules against like jutsu attacks against like Gaara like he would be like stealth because like that so stealth would be like totally like even tricking like the Hokage even like the Hokage and was different to not be able to like spot that like that's secret infiltration by precisely that disguise member especially since like the Hokage can't even sense that basically one of like the Anbu's black was so not totally totally like would be most likely fake like and also like since like even during like the preliminaries of like the June exam itself, like while Orochimaru had disguised himself as like the teacher right of like the sound village and was like standing right there among the teachers right in front of Hokage. Like even then, like which is like the Hokage didn't have like the observation skills. Neither the Hokage nor like all those Jonin level teachers didn't have like the observation skills of nor even Kakashi didn't have like the observation skills of power to like even be able to like detect shots Orochimaru's presence like right in the middle of them, like right under their nose. Like it's because of the reason like I'm remembering Orochimaru's like henchmen. So, and he would be like most likely Orochimaru's top right henchman. So like he too would be like really trained by Orochimaru to like form that absolute superior, to possess that absolute extreme superior self self-based attacking power. It was definitely my position. So like just that with those powers like in like really constantly like attacking Sasuke whenever Sasuke would be about to use his own jutsu against like a jutsu attack against Gaara. And that's the affecting of his performance. And this would all be like according to like Orochimaru's plan to like precisely corner Sasuke, so that like Sasuke would be eventually forced to like basically rely on like using like Orochimaru, the power of Orochimaru's mark. And at that point, like Orochimaru might definitely want like Sasuke to like basically, according to Orochimaru's plan, like Orochimaru might totally want like Sasuke to get focused by like the march powers of Orochimaru, and that way Sasuke to like totally lose control. So that like at that point it would be like since like Orochimaru's intent is to like to kidnap like Sasuke, like at that point it might be actually easier to abduct Sasuke and uncontrolled and focus Sasuke is definitely my person to remember. So that's because of like when Sasuke is like focused by Orochimaru's powers, like at that point Sasuke would be most likely in like a drunk like state, like a drunk like state with like that absolute obsession for power. It's definitely my personal memory. So like at least when Sasuke is in such a state, like basically like during Sasuke in with like basically like some sort of a specific jutsu or a Kimaru that operation would be having. So using that jutsu to like basically lure Sasuke into like that to like eventually being able to like usually abduct Sasuke might be like Orochimaru's plan, and like the precise orders Orochimaru might have given to his like precise top right henchmen to would be like one of like the judges, one of like Anbu, Black Ops. It's definitely my top three ambitions. So this would be like their strategy, but like I'm considering like their strategy not only backfire, but like even with like Sasuke's like that right hand and go black rock member like constantly like infiltrating and into like Sasuke's match against Gaara, and like Sasuke's like fight performance like usually repeatedly getting affected in the due to that, like I'm considering still for Sasuke to like still hold on firmly to Sasuke's like strong will, and basically still Sasuke like even to like the very end of like Sasuke's battle against like Gaara basically. And I'm basically totally bring Gaara to only unleash and bring out his like ultimate strength spirit form only towards like the very end of Gaara's of like Sasuke's fight against Gaara. It's definitely my favorite, and by then like I'm going to bring due to like this repeated interference and interference by that this right hand man of like Orochimaru. I'm going to bring Sasuke would have taken sustained a lot of injuries from Gaara. That like Gaara would be totally unaware. Even Gaara won't be able to like detect that basically there's like a third party secret interference into their fight, which is precisely causing that Sasuke's performance to go down. Even like the that would be like totally even Dara would be totally unaware of that. Like definitely my personal record. So Dara would be naively and delusionally thinking that this is like the Sasuke's like ultimate maximum strength current strength would be what Dara would think. And even with like that repeated infiltration into like Sasuke's fight, even then like Sasuke would be like so Kakashi would have trained and turn Sasuke to like reach such high levels of strength that even with such interference like Dara would be still finding Sasuke's fight against Gaara extremely challenging. It's definitely my favorite. So Gaara is like thinking that like the maximum of Sasuke, and like Gaara finally towards like the end of the battle, like Gaara bring out this like spirit form, and basically give that form. And also bring like not sure to a great extent of like that power, the true powers of that spirit should be revealed. Even before that, like I'm also bring so like Sasuke by then like sustaining a lot of injuries. I'm also bring Gaara using like spirit form, like basically attacking Sasuke and like without much great delay or like the fight performance get proceeding on fight like extending on like impossible without much delays after like losing to like the orange strength of like Gaara Sanskrit form power which the limit of the language, and but like solely due to like this repeated interference by the right hand man of like stealthy interference of that right hand man of Orochimaru. So definitely that's the scenario that I'm about to take. That way like Sasuke losing to Gaara is like the scenario that I'm also reporting and my personal revelation. And so like basically even towards like the very end of like Sasuke's fight against Gaara, like Sasuke is still holding on to his firmly to his will and not allowing his mind to like basically fall for the trap set by Orochimaru into like using Orochimaru's mask power. It's definitely my personal conclusion. That way, like even that that strategy of Orochimaru and to like right hand man to like totally backfires. So it's like the scenario that I'm considering. But like Sasuke losing to Gaara. It's like the scenario that I'm going to bring. Also, to select the limited generations are like while comparing like the life so far of like Naruto and Gaara, like basically while Naruto would be totally delusionally unaware of like basically that extreme privilege that Naruto have, that basically Naruto right off the bat like had that absolute freedom to like be anything he wants in his life. With like absolutely no one trying to like enslave him or force him to like do things in his life. Like basically in the case of Gaara, basically the reasons like Gaara had to like earn his freedom, like basically with like and Gaara even having to like face like situations where like his own father, like the Kazekage had multiple times like tried to like basically take Gaara's own life, like basically while Naruto would be like traditionally totally be unable to like comprehend all this and even realize Naruto's privileges. Like on top of all these things, like definitely the other privilege that Naruto alone would be having would be precisely that like while Naruto once again would be delusionally think that Naruto's on like the same boat as Gaara. In actuality, like with like both of them having this like spirit, with like Naruto having like the spirit of the mountain box while Gaara having the spirit of like and spirits within him. Like Naruto would be once again like totally be unable to like comprehend that basically Naruto's like even more the precise reason for Naruto being even more way more privileged than Gaara would be precisely because of like Naruto's switch up the night was on top of being like it being like far superior stronger than Gaara's and spirit like I'm personally or that's my personal impression and on top of that like basically Naruto's like night of spirit also provides Naruto with this like extra red chakra that gives that extreme unlimited kind of like stamina for Naruto while in like Gaara's case even though there is like a sand spirit that provides power to like Gaara still like the Gaara Sanskrit won't be at all providing Gaara with like any sort of extra special chakra or anything. Gaara would be only having this like blue chakra alone, which like Gaara might have trained using it like the power of Vegas man and spirit to be able to like reach like the current level of physical strength that Gaara will be in. And so it's my personal impression. Gaara won't be like having any sort of extra special chakra like Naruto. It's definitely my personal impression. Gaara would be only most likely only be having like a single blue chakra, just like the majority. It's definitely also my personal impression. Yes, so like definitely not looking to the impression right now as well. Like Kakashi showing up right next to like Sakura and Rockly and guys and like I'm probably something like basically it would be with like the precise intent of Kakashi. Like I'm going to bring Kakashi might have been able to like sense like the disturbance within like the Rockly as like Rockly like witnessing like Sasuke stepping up to like the battlefield to fight off against Gaara. Definitely my personal impression. So like Rockly might have definitely I'm still to my personal impression that Rockly currently would be totally feeling that kind of like a fear and out of like jealousy because of like the fear of like basically for the since like Rocklet only feels like not only Gaara but also like Sasuke as well as with like as a rival like but the Rocklet something like Rocklet might be totally fearing like the possibility that like, even after like Rocklet had given everything in his fight against Gaara and basically still had had failed and basically had been defeated by Gaara like basically it like right now like Sasuke who's like such a great rival for like who's like as such a like a great rival the way Rocky even sees like Sasuke. So like if Sasuke in his like current fight against Gaara were to like defeat Gaara and that way like succeed where Rocky had failed then that would might be like extremely kind of like disturbing for like for Rocky might be like what Rocky would be saying like Rocky might have that fear out of like jealousy of like basically Sasuke basically succeed if like Sasuke even succeed where like Rocky failed like that would be like a direct revelation that Sasuke has passed like a Rocky strength. It's also like along the lines Rocky might be thinking and would be like one more of a reason for like that extreme disturbance line possibly right now within like Rocky certainly might be in the range. So like Kakashi might be potentially currently be able to like sense that and Kakashi might want to like basically offer what he believes would be like this first of the system to like Rocky to like separately calm Rocky down. But like my major impression of for like what Sakachi would be like right now telling I'm considered different Sakachi right now to with like the first intent to like comfort and make Rocky realize certain absolute truth that basically that Rocky like feeling down and disturbed for like absolutely nothing where Rocky is actually currently feeling down and disturbed in like a situation where Rocky could be actually feeling absolutely proud of himself and everything he has done up to the current point. So certainly my concern is so Kakashi might actually genuinely want to make Rocky aware of that. Certainly my concern is like Kakashi might want to like make Rocky aware that he Rocky doesn't on top of that now having that extra special privilege that people like Naruto, Sasuke, and Gaara have of basically having like in Gaara's case like having the this like ultimate fan spirit within that Gaara. In the case of like Sasuke having like the sharing it the special power of the sharing and in Naruto's case like Naruto having like the biggest privilege of like having like on top of having like the ultimate power of like the nine tail fox ultimate superior power of the nine tail fox sits within him that also Naruto as part of it, like also getting like the privilege of having an extra red chakra, extra special red chakra that the majority won't be like even having like, and that providing Naruto with that extra like unlimited kind of stamina. Basically, when comparing to all these like students and candidates, like basically Rocky has like absolutely on top of like having like no absolute special privilege like some like on top of that like, Rocky also is forced upon like basically has to deal with like a lot of extreme disadvantage as well. With like Rocky being only being able to like use with taijutsu alone probably because not even due to like his fault it was solely having to like basically rely only on his taijutsu alone like probably not having like any access to like basically his to any like ninjutsu or like genjutsu. Yes, like the fact that even with such on top of not having any special extra privilege or like on top of even while forced with an extreme disadvantage of situation, like even then like the fact that Rocky had put up such an absolute on top of even in such a situation, the fact that Rocky even made it so far into like the June exam, and on top of that, Rocky had even put up such an absolutely great fight against like Gaara, like basically to make Rocky aware of this maybe like the reason that basically Rocky that currently like Rocky should be totally proud of his like achievements rather than feel like disturbed or like ashamed or sad or down. To make Rocky aware of this would be like the special reason for Kakashi right now showing up right next to like Jason and Rocky. That's certainly my person to the okay, so like definitely also Mira and Dustin right now is like they have like this fight against the Gaara that can also begin like Sakura's worry will be especially known towards Gaara that towards like the possible scenario of like Gaara possibly on defeating Sasuke like possibly like taking Sasuke like especially since death is also like part of like the game when it comes to like the third fifth to next time still that won't be like the current fear. That won't be at all like the fear of Sakura. It's definitely my person getting written. Like right now, like the fear within Sakura would probably, especially since like Sakura was like a witness to both Gaara's powers during Gaara's fight against like Rock Lee, as well as as well as Sasuke's powers. Like when that process for Orochi Naru's mom had basically taken over Sasuke. That basically since like Sakura has witnessed both these powers, like definitely precisely because of this, like definitely my consideration that Sakura currently would be like even more worried of like about the deal like Sasuke totally like that mask totally taking control of Sasuke and Sasuke totally losing control and if that's the case and in such a scenario like literally Sasuke taking the lives of Gaara, this would be like the current absolute fear within Sakura. It's definitely might and it won't be like the other way around so if you like about it, like Sasuke dying by the hands of Gaara, but like basically Gaara dying by the hands of Sasuke, and it won't be due to genuine concern towards like Gaara, but like it would be towards her genuine concern towards like Sasuke, because like the last thing Sakura would want would be for to see Sasuke once again to be possessed by that mark power of like, that villainistic power, that villainistic dark powers of that mark, and for Sasuke to act out in a villainistic manner and that way take Gaara. Like that would be like the last thing Sakura would ever want to like see again in her life. So like this would be like the only fear in within Sakura right now. Connecting to like Sasuke. It's certainly my first experience. So like luckily my person event right now is that like in total like, there might be totally like 10 and do black ops for like the village. Specifically my first experience. But Kakashi worry as for like having like 8 and do black ops precisely in like the stages arena. And specifically like the Andrew Blackout like official position to be precisely in outside like maybe like in like the border area of like the village like and their duty might be like although like while they are not like on duty and like chasing after like anyone who has like betrayed like the village like any villains who have betrayed like the village or anything like when they are off duty like I'm considering their during then like their job would be to like stand guard on like the boundaries of like the territory of like the villages. Then they were also in the membership like the hate of like the Anbu Black Ops, especially being in like the stadium, like the arena, like even worrying Kakashi, like actually my the membership that like first of all like that worry would be like a false worry. While like the worry would be like a genuine worry of Kakashi, still my personal impression that like in actuality among the act in actuality like the majority of sector and black ops might be like actually in their original supposed professions like so like they want like the tertiary area of like the village, especially in tourism, while like the majority of like the among like the eight and go black ops in like the arena, like the majority of them possibly and those ring might be like fake and go black ops wearing mask. Especially my position, especially like those and the black ops would be like an absolute fake that would be like uh, actually they will be like henchmen of like Orochimaru, definitely my like they have won marks like about the Kakashi might not be able to like realize that. Definitely my cousin to remember so like so different like among like the eight and the black dogs in like the arena, but the majority of them might be like actually like henchmen of Orochimaru. Also like definitely remember possibly that remember the brand my cousin to remember. So uh, so like really my cousin to remember that like the Hokage might have probably noticed like this suspicious like thing with like eight and the black dogs being present in like the arena. So all of a sudden like and then but it might have really happened at like by the time like Sasuke might have appeared into like the arena precisely with like at least might have been precisely then like also the like these eight and those black dogs might have precisely even showed up into like maybe initially it might have certainly been just like one or two and the black dogs alone like present in like the arena and like on the spring by the time precisely Kakashi and Saki had showed up to like the arena possibly quickly eight and the black dogs might have quickly then like the remaining six and the black dogs might have precisely showed up into like the arena and like I'm the spring like most likely the majority of them would be actually like henchmen of henchmen of like Orochimaru, certainly even the characters and the like certainly not the so like I'm the the Hokage might have really noticed this and basically found it like exchanges of fish. So like he might have like totally straight away someone to like he might have actually summoned like secretly summoned like one of like the Anbu Black Ops to like question them as for like why eight of them are present in like the arena. So like I'm just bringing like precisely Orochimaru's like henchman with characters and the Black Ops. Like he might have precisely showed up and he might have the excuse that of like a reason he might have thought for and tricked Hokage might have been precisely that like that they might have then that would be like that they had like found information figured out information that basically like Orochimaru will be most likely making his attack precisely during Sasuke's fight against Gaara. So like this was like the precise reason for like them showing up to like eight of them like currently right now being present in like the arena might have been like stealthily what like he might have totally lied and tricked like the Hokage but currently it's definitely not a so this is also like a person that I'm listening. So like currently in like as like Sasuke fight against Gaara is like about to begin like the Hokage might be actually expecting like an attack from Orochimaru. It's definitely my person to so like but in actuality, definitely my thousand impressions are like it to be precisely like the Hokage getting pricked with like at like Sasuke's fight against like Gaara with the projecting after different like these precisely like and the Black Ops would be like precisely these eight and the Black Ops. So eight or like the majority of like the among like the eight and the Black Ops would be like with like the absolute stealth would be performing due to its from like the arena to precisely affect like Sasuke's like fight performance against like Gaara. Just try to like force Sasuke into like possibly into like using the power of like the Master for Orochimaru. But still that whole attempt totally backfiring with like Sasuke holding on to his will and his like true original Jutsu power. And basically that eventually resulting in like Sasuke being defeated by Gaara. It's like the scenario that I was different and not so like the later person question right now that like as like there's like the first game Gara fight will be beginning like right now because the initiated initially like I'm between Gara being like totally blown away by like last year's like extreme upgrade in like fight. Gara would be like totally calculating accordingly to like the fight performance of structure that Gara had observed during like the preliminary perspective during exam to like the and adding up to like the 1 month period and with like Hitachi giving like Sasuke training like Gara in his mind might have totally calculated like the certain extent to which like Sasuke's power will be most likely might have grown by now. But still, I'm also pretty straight as like the fight between like Gara and Sasuke even begins like even that expectations of Gara to totally be blown out of that proportion by Sasuke's like skills and strength and like Sasuke straight away will be losing all sorts of tools of Sasuke. It's definitely my personal impression. And like I'm also Sasuke totally like outshining Gaara in like the beginning. Definitely my consideration. But still, Ambas right now, but it will be still after like the fight would be reaching a certain point that Ambas the officer is like eight or like the majority among the Grey and Blue Black Ops. So we didn't see early instrument of like what of the others. They will be like starting to make their move with like then stealthily using also for Q2 and like upping the skills performance and considering from that point will be when like the whole side of like the battle between Gaara versus Sasuke like greatly changing. And from that point on, about the it to be like mostly like one-sided and towards like and then those parents Sasuke totally struggling from that point on to like be able to like properly do any sort of like actual damage to Gaara and then considering like still Sasuke holding on and basically considering by the time Gaara will be finally unleashing it and still considering Sasuke totally forcing like pushing Gaara to force Gaara and like the Gaara will be forced to like bring out his like ultimate sense form. And once Gaara will be bringing out that ultimate sense form, it will be like it being like mostly game over for Sasuke because of like all the injuries that they would have taken by then, like due to like the secret interference of like those like this guys and the black of instance of like origin or like that in the scenario that embassy or something and my cousin did. Yes, so like definitely my cousin did impression right now, but like Gara, like the moment Gara unleashing his stand, like Gara even speaking to this mother, like definitely my cousin did impression where like 4% still within Gaara would be like the tip of his like mother, its own mother, definitely not the secret. So like Kaguya, what he might have done would be to like especially create like the ultimate warrior ninja, like he might have precisely once like Gaara was born, like about the thing like the Kaguya might have precisely taken the life of his wife and basically might have done some sort of like an experiment to basically turn her into like to basically and that method only was not to die the Kartikeya's wife like Gaara's mother to like basically die and turn into this like ultimate formidable ultimate strong and powerful Sanskrit and basically the Kartikeya might have then using some sort of a jutsu might have sealed that Sanskrit on Gaara. It's definitely what might have happened. It's definitely might have been so like the Sanskrit within Gaara would be like actually like the spirit of Gaara mother who might have right now through by the time like due to like the Kartikeya is like using all sorts of like experimental jutsu on to and turning like Gaara's mother and that way that's the moment the Kartikeya in like the past might have turned Gaara's mother into like the Sanskrit at that point itself she might have totally turned into like an extremely dark and villainous kind of like spirit. It's definitely my personal emotion. That villainous and dark kind of spirit would be like the precise fan spirit that is within Jara, even to like the present day. It's definitely my personal emotion. Like definitely my personal emotion that like that fan spirit that exists within Jara like would be like an absolutely extremely villainous and dark kind of spirit. And would be totally like would have like a major role to play in like totally influencing like Jara's like character and personality even to as we grow up even to like the present day. Definitely also my vegetarian version. So like my vegetarian version right now is also like currently it might be like the trans spirit that would be like the best controlling drama and it won't be like the other way around. Definitely my vegetarian version. And then the only for things of even through like Dara fight against Sasuke. And by the time I'm only bringing eventually definitely for Dara to like definitely defeat top there. And in the Chennai thing, it would still be like the Sun Spirit that would be like totally fully in control of Zara. Definitely not considering the dark and villain Sun Spirit that would be like fully in control of Zara. But then considering like no technique, then eventually like once like after defeating Sasuke, like I'm considering eventually once like the Gaara versus like Naruto fight will be happening. I'm considering at that point. I'm considering exactly like how Naruto gives all his like advice to all of his like opponents and especially like how Naruto uh, gave Neji all these advices, which like Naruto totally certainly believes is like right, like basically and considering like in like a similar manner, like without Naruto and considering naively and immaturely without being able to like understand like the true suffering of like exactly like Naruto wasn't able to like my person theory that Naruto wasn't able to like at all recognize or realize his own privileges and basically and like wasn't able to like even comprehend like the core levels and depth of like the sufferings of Neji. And hence Naruto even comparing Neji to like Naruto as well as Hinata. And those different like the similar thing looked like during like Naruto's fight against Gaara as well. Where like Naruto would be totally comparing himself to Gaara and comparing like Gaara's extreme suffering to like Naruto, like toward Naruto would be delusionally seeing as like ultimate suffering. Is Naruto's own ultimate suffering. Definitely my personal opinion. Anyway, like I'm suffering by the time like that's like the scenario that I'm suffering, and I'm suffering by the time like the whole Naruto versus Gaara fight will be over. It's like Naruto eventually struggling with strange like finally suffering and defeating Gaara. At that point, like I'm totally suffering. Gaara not like lead changing. Like I'm suffering like Naruto, exactly like how Naruto so casually gave advices to Neji. Like I'm suffering like Naruto only also as like the battle from the would be progressing between Naruto and Gaara as well. Like I'm suffering Naruto so casually like giving advices to Gaara, and I'm suffering by the time Naruto would be defeating Gaara, and suffering by then like I'm suffering. Gaara would have reached that point where like he would be like point of that realization or like strengthen his own will where like I'm suffering Gaara would be turning into like would be reaching that levels of strength in his like will where like Gaara would be even though Gaara would be losing to Naruto, Gaara would be like being reaching that levels of strength in his will that Gaara from that point on would be able to like control his like sand spirit, and the it would be only at that point when like the true Gaara would be like revealed, like the true present day Gaara's like actual personality and character would only be revealed at that point. And considering it would be like Gaara based, and from that point on, it would be like especially Gaara that would be like only controlling like the Sanskrit, and the Sanskrit from that point on would never be able to like take control of Gaara. That's definitely my positive reference. So like Gaara totally with that defeat against Naruto, like Gaara totally changing into like an absolutely different person. It's like the scenario that I was different. Like Gaara even being like totally different and acting totally different towards like Naruto in like more of like a kind-hearted manner. Like basically like exactly like how currently Neji is like totally looking up towards like Naruto and considering like a similar thing happening with like Gaara after like Gaara's defeat against Naruto or like Gaara as well. From that point on, leading to like the future every time like Neji as well as Gaara would be like in like the future would be like seeing Naruto each and every time they would be like totally looking towards the Naruto on like what would be like equal terms. It's like such scenarios, such a manner. It's like what I'm totally praying for like the in future. The change totally happening to Gaara once like Naruto will be repeating Gaara. It's like the scenario that I'm totally praying. Yes, so like definitely my personal impression right now is that like Gaara, the spirit within Gaara might have perfectly at the moment it's so Sasuke for the very first time itself, like, even before like the Queen and even began like the very first time like Gaara spirit Gaara had seen Sasuke itself, like Gaara, the Sanskrit within Gaara might have straight away seen Sasuke and being able to like sense Sasuke's like sharing it. It's definitely my position. And even though Naruto was right there in front of Gaara, even at that point, so they bring like the Sanskrit of within Gaara might have not even been able to like sense like the script of like the night and box within Naruto. It's definitely my position. Hence, you'll be like the referee to like, especially because it will be most likely like, especially because of like the Sanskrit within Gaara only being a back then itself like even to like the person like only being able to like sense like the precise like sharing and of like Sasuke alone would be like the precise reason for like it straight away the very first time Gaara even saw Sasuke that like Gaara precisely seeing Sasuke as like ultimate target. So it's definitely my personal impression. So like there might have definitely been that post threat element that might have felt with as for like the Sanskrit within Gaara. On sensing like the sharing and all stuff is definitely my personal impression. So like that might have created like a certain level of disturbance within it. It's definitely my personal impression that it had to like not for like that Sanskrit to totally like to love itself like basically had to like ensure that it's stronger than everyone it sees like and it's take stronger and take life of like safely and that way destroys everything it sees for it to feel for that Sanskrit to feel like as like superior as possible for it and basically as like the strongest and basically that would be how like the Sanskrit will be like loving itself. So it's definitely my especially Sasuke might have totally been marked as like a target by like the Sanskrit within Gaara, even from the back then. It's definitely not something to remember. So like I'm different. Then as for like Naruto and and as for like the Sanskrit, even telling Naruto and Shikamaru, and as for like the Sanskrit within Gaara, even targeting Arochley and trying to take the life of Arochley back when Arochley was better than and all this like especially would be especially due to like that extreme disturbance that might have caused within like that transfer, especially that during even during like Rockly's fight against like Gaara itself, like basically by the performance that the exceptional performance that Rockly has put up against Gaara, like even then like I'm referring, even though like the Sanskrit might have not at all expected like such performance like fight performance and sprint out of like Rockly during like Gaara's fight against Rockly, especially my personal trainers. So like that might have only cut like the ego of like the Sanskrit within Gaara, and that like it might have like the fact that like it wasn't like but like the fact that even in that preliminary fight against like Gaara in that even though the fight ended with like the Sanskrit not being able to like take Rockly's life, like that might have been extremely unsatisfactory for like that Sanskrit. It was definitely my personal emotion because like of Rockly only hurting its like ego even for like sometimes it's definitely my personal emotion. So like the Sanskrit might have desperately desire to like take desperately might want to like basically take Rockly's life, you know, for like the Sanskrit the last and spirit to feel good. This definitely my personal direction. And like I'm going to bring like even like Gaara even witnessing as like whenever Gaara even witnesses like Naruto fight performance in like the preliminaries as well as like currently in like the even after like witnessing like Naruto fight performance against like Hiba in like the preliminaries like I'm going a threat feeling like even though like not on like the levels of that of like Sasuke, still like a certain level of a threat minor threat feeling might have arise within like the spirit within Gaara even after seeing like particularly Naruto as well as like Shikamaru's like fight performance in like the preliminaries of the Chunin exam, and that may be the precise reason for like the Sanskrit within Gaara even telling Naruto as well as like Shikamaru back in like the hospital that basically it would definitely take their life. Like it just like the Sanskrit like its ultimate goal would be only to like precisely take the life of anyone and everyone that even creates like even the tiniest bit of like a threat feeling within that sense there is a threat feeling or like a challenge feeling within that sense with me my personal impression. So like right now my personal impression that like definitely my personal impression that like right now as like the whole Gaara with the fight has just begun like I'm going to bring like the sense that it within like Gaara would like the dark sense that within Gaara wouldn't be satisfied at all even if like Gaara even defeats Sasuke like the sense that would be satisfied at all with like just defeating Sasuke but like it would only be able to like feed its ego only if it's like only wanted to like take Sasuke's life and it would also want like precisely because like currently Sasuke would be like that character that has created like the maximum threat element within like and a challenge feeling within that sense spirit like not for six to like definitely feel good and basically not for it to be able to like feed its ego it will definitely not at all be satisfied with just like defeating Sasuke or even taking Sasuke's life but like it would only be satisfied most likely by only through giving Sasuke a suffering that is definitely my personal framework. So like I'm preparing that um, that desire of like the dark side spirit within Gaara definitely not at all being satisfied at all. With, like I'm totally bring like even though like that is like part of like the role of like the two next and like of like the third space battles in like the two next and even though that is like a part of it like I'm different still eventually as like Gaara would be or and defeating Sasuke like I'm different still I'm different thing before like Sasuke would have clearly be being defeated. Like, and then, but a scenario is like even though Sasuke would like basically give up, but like Sasuke would be like Sasuke would be like done fighting against Gaara, but like I'm preparing Sasuke to like still not shout out and say that we give up. But still, I'm preparing, or like the scenario that I'm preparing is like Gaara defeating Sasuke and basically Sasuke turning unconscious and lying on the floor. So like at that point, like the since there is within Gaara being eager to basically take Sasuke's life. But like even before that, I'm considering most likely Kakashi basically stopping that sense there than Gaara. It's like the scenario that I'm totally talking. And that way, like, or like the referee basically interfering and basically it being like far too evident for like the judge that basically Gaara has won that basically even before like the sense would be desperately trying to like take like the life of like either the unconscious or like extremely badly injured and unable to like move Sasuke like even before that like and for the judge to totally interfere and declare like Sasuke as like the winner. And maybe I'm different still for like the Sanskrit not to like even pay any heed to like the judge's like declaration and basically proceed to like trying to take last case like but like at that very last second Kakashi straight away showing up and precisely stopping like the Sanskrit just a simple like that. It's like the scenario that I'm totally putting. So like at that point I'm totally putting. And also like the other thing as for like the nature and like the character of like the dark Sanskrit within Jara and those different even while guys and say have stopped like the Sanskrit there is attempt to like take its target like not one but twice like even it was like the end of like the Gaara fight against Arofli as well as like while Gaara was trying to take the life of I think like Naruto and Shikamaru in like the hospital as well like precisely guys and they showing up like precisely being like that stopping factor like basically and but the thing like as for like the Sanskrit would be well and fully aware that it has like the Sanskrit itself has like a lot of like potential and like a lot more room to grow and that like basically it would be like gaining more and more strength as basically like as Gaara grows more and as basically time passes like it would be well and fully aware of that. So like even though currently guys and Kakashi would be like stronger than like the Sanskrit like and the still it would be able to like especially sense be able to like sense that basically in Gaitense's case like Gaitense only has like the Taijutsu and like in Kakashi's case as well like basically even though Kakashi has like a Sharingan it doesn't have two Sharingans like hence like the Sanskrit of the within Gaara would be like precisely able to like sense that like Kakashi would definitely not be from like the Uchiha clan. uh, it's also definitely matters in generations. Like someone might not only given like Kakashi like the Sharingan is definitely matters again. So Kakashi definitely won't be from like the Uchiha clan. So like I'm considering like the precise Sanskrit within Gaara might be able to like precisely sense that basically even though currently like the Sanskrit is not strong enough to like offer and indicate like neither guidance nor Kakashi like still like the Sanskrit has such extreme room to grow that like eventually like Gaara and like the Sanskrit would be like fast surpassing the strength of Kakashi as well as like guidance is certainly my personal revision. This would be one thing like the Sanskrit would be well and fully aware of. But in the case of like Sasuke, like the Sanskrit still would be like would have totally recognized the potential within Sasuke that basically even if like Sasuke is currently won't be as even though currently Sasuke is not even as strong as like neither Kakashi nor guys and say like still Sasuke will eventually totally has like the potential within him to like eventually pass up past like Kakashi as well as guys and there will be one thing that the Sanskrit spirit will be only able to like sense at the moment it had seen Sasuke for like the first time. It's definitely my personal range and this might be the reason for like that desperation within that Sanskrit to precisely and the Sanskrit theme Sasuke as its like ultimate target. And even after like I'm considering like even in Naruto as well as Shikamaru's case as well, like the Sanskrit will be like precisely be able to tell that basically even Naruto as well as Shikamaru have that a lot of potential within them. Even though the Sanskrit won't be able to like especially recognize the spirit of like the United Fox within Naruto because like if it were to like recognize the spirit of the United Fox within Naruto, then the Sanskrit would like change from its target being like Sasuke to like its target being Naruto. Specifically because like my top Doraemon definitely that Naruto's night and power would be like in actuality it's like true power would be like the actual strongest power out of all three. It's definitely my personal Doraemon. So the sense that it's like just by witnessing like Naruto's like battle, like the preliminary, uh, it might have only been able to sense that basically Naruto has some sort of like a potential lying within him, and even seeing in like Shikamaru's fight as well, like the preliminaries might have totally figured that like Shikamaru as well have some sort of potential within Shikamaru, that basically both Naruto as well as Shikamaru. Exactly like Sasuke would be like eventually fast surpassing the strength of like Kakashi and Gaiden. And this might be the precise reason for like the Sanskrit within Gaara, like precisely targeting, not even totally ignoring the guys and saying Kakashi, but like especially focused on like Sasuke and then Naruto and Shikamaru. So definitely my personal theory and presence. So like I'm different as for like the scenarios definitely I'm still thinking my personal theory and presence that like the Sanskrit won't, even though it would be like most likely defeating Sasuke, like it won't be succeeding in like being able to like take Sasuke's life. So like once again the Sanskrit being extremely unsatisfied and basically and I'm considering like then eventually once like Orochimaru's like henchmen I'm considering Orochimaru's top right henchman would be like the third person that I'm considering. that would be precisely trying to like abduct Sasuke and trying to like get away. And at that point, I was like Gaara and his like unsuspecting and satisfied like Sanskrit most likely getting in the way. Possibly that's also like a scenario. It's like a possibility that I'm also bringing. But like this will be only under the condition that like even after like Gaara even definitely losing to like Naruto in like the Naruto was Gaara fight like even during such a fight happening and in that fight like once Naruto even defeats Gaara even that then I'm also told everything like the other possibilities basically even after Gaara losing to Naruto like through Naruto's like advice and everything Gaara realizing that basically he should be the one under that basically he would never be able to like get rid of like the sand spirits within Gaara but then Gaara comes to the realization that he should be like the one in control and he should not let like the sand spirits control Gaara. Gaara, even though Gaara comes to that realization, still empowering Gaara only coming to that realization to now his fight against like Naruto by the time it will be over. But still empowering the sense still having like Gaara will still not being strong enough that basically the sense spirit like still taking control of like Gaara and basically that way like the sense spirit like controlling Gaara and like once like so like Ambassador to only after like the Naruto versus Gaara fight as well will be over and Ambassador to only after that like Ambassador getting eventually like Orochimaru's like would be making his move as well as like Orochimaru's like his as well would be make their move as well and basically abducting Sasuke. So like precisely as Sasuke during that whole attempt of abducting Sasuke and like precisely as Sasuke would be getting abducted and basically would be like about to taken out of like even before Sasuke would be taken out of like the leaf village and probably definitely for like a fight between like a Sand Spirit possibly controlling Gaara versus that precise right hand man of like Orochimaru is definitely a scenario that I'm going to be totally cutting as for like the other possibility that I'm going to bring. With like Zara Sans with being totally extremely unsatisfied with like it totally being unable to like take Sasuke like it like chasing after like Sasuke as Sasuke will be getting affected and basically that way like basically the right hand man getting standing in the way of Gaara and his like Sanskrit and basically that way like an ultimate fight between like a Sanskrit control Gaara versus like that a right hand man of Orochimaru in December they don't everything. So that fight would be intense and like Orochimaru's right hand man would be getting serious trouble with like the ultimate power of like Gaara and his like man. But still empowering Orochimaru's right hand man eventually still somehow being able to like overpower and defeat Gaara and his like man spirit. And then him like successfully affecting and getting away with like Sasuke and out of like the league village and joining up with like Orochimaru. It's like so that's also like another kind of like a possibility that I'm probably totally putting for like revenge scenario and definitely my person to okay, so like I definitely made the into reimbursement right now with like Naruto even after repeating maybe like Naruto's like leg like shaking and trembling with fear thinking of Gaara. Like I'm probably having like it will like solely most likely have to do with like Naruto, what Naruto believes in as like basically as that what Naruto believes that like the sole reason Naruto would was able to like get this far. Naruto would be able to like comprehend or realize that it was solely due to like the spirit of like the ultimate power, superior power that's granted to Naruto that has always been granted towards like Naruto through like Rajam chakra and like the extra stamina and everything through like the switch of like and both within Naruto it was like the sole reason for Naruto even being able to like make it to like the third grade religion exam would be one thing that Naruto would be like still not aware of at all. It's definitely not the generation. So like from Naruto's point of view, Naruto would be totally think that like it was solely because of like Naruto like basically facing is like a reasons to live as like him with, connecting that with like his ultimate goal of becoming Asakage. That Naruto was only thinking along the lines that like Naruto was able to like make it so far in his life and make it to like the third phase of the film next time solely due to like him facing his like reasons to live as like him wanting to be Asakage. Definitely my person very much well. Like from Naruto's point of view, Naruto was only thing that basically so like basically that would have like a lot of significance and like a lot impact and that's impact and significance was like the precise reason and sole reason that got Naruto to make it to all the way to like the third episode to next would be what Naruto would be most likely thinking is definitely my person to embrace. So like I'm just probably putting that would be what Naruto will be believing. Definitely my person to remember. So like my person to remember is like simply like Naruto's reason to live itself is to basically take the life of everyone around. And since like Naruto be totally believing in like such a mindset having like a lot of significance and impact in like one's life and the being like the sole reason for like Naruto even making it being able to like make it so far in his life would be like what Naruto would be thinking. So I think like Gaara has like the same kind of mindset as Naruto in like the present and basically, but it's in like the dark and villainistic version of it. Like I'm preferring Naruto to be sharing like that mindset of Gaara to totally create to also create like exactly like Naruto to totally create like a significant impact but like in like the negative and dark and villainistic manner would be like that as the reason for that has like fear within Naruto even right now after like even after defeating Nezu still Naruto even having his like legs shaking and trembling thinking of in fear thinking of Gaara so precisely because of this reason is definitely my person to remember it. So like definitely my person to remember right now as like something seems to be like currently appears to be having like the same level of fear of that probably and seems to be like especially outpacing Gaara like still Satya's current speed would be like totally not even remotely comparable to like the true levels of speed that basically Rocky had gained precisely during like Rocky's fight against Gaara. Precisely while Rocky had reached the point of activating Rocky's like maximum gates that Rocky was able to like open during that time during Rocky's fight against Gaara. Like during that time, like basically during that final moment, like the precise stage that they had, like basically even like the current stage that which like Sasuke currently is like outpacing Gaara would be like not even remotely comparable to like that level of speed of that of the use back then. It's definitely my person to remember. So like I'm for example currently Sasuke would be like outpacing Gaara still specifically because of like the experience Gaara already have fighting off against like the Rock Lee like unimaginable speed like definitely like the past 1 month like definitely Gaara might have totally maybe might have totally like so like from that experience that Gaara would have totally gained through like Gaara's experience fighting against like that unimaginable fear of like roughly back in like the preliminary process next and Gaara would have totally figured out by now like would have totally figured out like a counter strategy against like speeds of like that level or even higher. It's definitely my percentage damage. So like right now, even though Sasuke is like outpacing, seriously outpacing Gaara in speed, like and those different like Gaara to like without much delay, Gaara revealing his like counter strategy. Like a real phone is definitely my percentage damage. And that way like basically Sasuke being forced to like not rely on like the doing like the kind of similar things that Poppy has done in during his fight against like Gaara and instead like Sasuke being forced to like basically to reconfigure his like strategy and basically to rely more on his like precise like the precise on rely more on like precisely taking advantage of all the jutsus like that Sasuke has and this lack of the simply couldn't use like basically Sasuke is like Sharingan as well as like all the jutsus that jutsus of Sasuke himself like basically Sasuke eventually like rely for the force like rely on using that but like in like a combination with like the current speed of Sasuke rather than just focusing on like outspacing the like roughly it will be like the eventual conclusion and like an eventual figuring out of a strategy that Sasuke eventually will be reaching to as like the fight between like Sasuke and Gaara would be progressing. It's like the scenario that I'm considering of delivering and person to end of. So like personally my personal impressions are like Kakashi might have definitely made like a major mistake when teaching Sasuke for like the past 4 months was definitely my personal impression. And that is the like the first point where like Kakashi would have made that major mistake would be precisely the point where like Kakashi failing to like realize that basically Gaara is planned and basically especially since like Sasuke can already use like a jutsu that can through which like Sasuke can breathe fire. Like I'm considering like especially because of that like and adding that with like basically Kakashi having most likely having like pockets like the water jutsu of Zabuza during Kakashi's fight against like Zabuza basically Kakashi could have like allowed Sasuke to basically copy and learn like that's water jutsu of Kakashi. That Kakashi most likely by now might have well, during Kakashi's fight against Abusa might have only copied. It's definitely I think copied is definitely my personal preference. So like all Kakashi had to do was like basically yeah, even while all Kakashi had to do was like basically face Sasuke that said water jutsu so that like it's like the absolute elemental advantage it's like water being advantageous to like stand like basically Sasuke could have like used the Sharingan and learned Sasuke could have taught that process water jutsu to like Kakashi could have said taught Sasuke that water jutsu and Sasuke could have potentially used that water jutsu against Gaara to like be able to like most likely get like an extreme heat advantage against Gaara. Yet like I'm remembering Kakashi might have totally missed out the extreme relevance point and basically might have totally forgot, might have not even thought along such lines. And so, like I'm saying, Sasuke won't be using any sort of like water jutsu against Gaara, especially because of that. It's definitely my person to understand. This being like, this possibly would be like that major mistake that I'm considering. Maybe like I'm considering Sasuke to like most likely use eventually, as like Sasuke who Gaara fight brothers, like I'm considering maybe Sasuke using his like fire breathing jutsu against like Gaara's sand, but still that fire attack like not at all affecting like the sand of Gaara is like an eventual possible scenario that I'm considering, and maybe at that point like it totally passing for like Kakashi, and Kakashi totally realizing that a major mistake that he had done on his like training of Sasuke, that like he had totally forgotten to like teach Sasuke that like what jutsu that he stole from Zabuza, he copied and took from Zabuza. Like Kakashi possibly coming to that realization for prevalence that Gaara also Sasuke by progress. It's like one point that I'm also bring for like I'm also bring like the entire Sasuke versus like Gaara fight progressing, and eventually as it's even most likely would definitely be ending with the Gaara defeating Sasuke. Even that Kakashi face as only and absolutely not even realizing and absolutely that we're failing to realize that absolute mistake that most likely might exist in like Sasuke, in Kakashi's like teaching of Sasuke. So like definitely I'm definitely thing, and I'm for like Sasuke to like not even use like a what element to attack against Gaara at all. So definitely my personal opinion. Still I'm considering Kakashi would have trained Sasuke to be able to like use all of his skills. So unlike back during the Sasuke's performance in like the preliminary of the so next time, definitely my personal opinion. So like I'm considering Sasuke is using a lot of his own tools to attack against Gaara without letting like the mask of Orochimaru take over Sasuke. Precisely using like Sasuke's will that might have strengthened up and reached new levels of strength right now. By now, it's definitely my person to ambition. Okay, so like definitely my person to ambition right now with like Akamaru recognizing one of like the Anbu Black Ops. Like I'm just looking that Anbu Black Ops in this big Kabuto. It's definitely my person to ambition. So like I'm just putting Akamaru like barking and basically telling that Kiba that basically it's like and it's like Kabuto like basically like or like Akamaru giving clues and every day like Kiba only being like figure out that it's like Kabuto, and straight away I'm just putting Kabuto straight away attacking with like the absolute stealth, like Kabuto completely silencing Shiba is like the scenario that I'm going to bring. But like Shiba won't be dying like basically like those were all bring Kabuto only silencing like turning like silently attacking and stuff like that, so still attacking Shiba and turning Shiba unconscious, and basically unconscious Shiba totally like put there onto like the corner, like basically an unconscious Shiba like lying on that corner, like scenario that I'm going to. So like right now, right then still time to different while Kabuto would be doing the samples different like straight away. Akamaru would be completely escaping, and like Akamaru would be like staying scared, and it will be straight away be able to like escape and run off. And that's also bringing Akamaru most likely running into most likely where like Kakashi and guys and will be definitely most likely will be definitely going to win. So like I'm considering Akamaru like keeping on barking. And basically, so like even though neither Kakashi nor Kaisen will be able to like recognize what it's like trying to tell, like still like they will be like totally feeling that something is wrong, and basically then I'm also bring Akamaru that's totally barking at Kakashi as well as like Kaisen. Then like Akamaru is totally running back, and that will be like actually like Kakashi and Kaisen they will give the round that will be like Akamaru wants them to like follow them. So like I'm also like Akamaru totally running back to that place spot the it had scenes that his Anbu Black Up, and they are like considering ones like Kakashi as well as like guys they will be showing up there like considering there all they would be seeing would be most likely an unconscious Eva like well. And I'm considering at that point that at that point I'm considering guys and then Kakashi like most likely checking the Anbu Black Ops, and basically all of a sudden they will be like shocking finding out that basically where there were like until that point where there were like eight Anbu Black Ops, like all of a sudden, like right then, like there will be only seven Anbu Black Ops in like the arena. It's like definitely my definitely. like the scenario that I'm also putting in the game. And then from those neurons putting Kakashi like trying to like get Kiba, desperately trying to get Kakashi and guys and like desperately trying to get Kiba back to like consciousness, and then the might take a bit of time. And then by the time like Kiba becomes like conscious, like at that point about Kiba only revealing to like that particular information to like Kakashi as well as guys into that particularly it was precisely Kabuto that basically one of like the two exam candidates like Kabuto that basically so at that point like Kakashi would be able to like professor recognize the name Kabuto, and basically at that point still Kabuto totally Kakashi totally slowly like showing up to precisely where like the Hokage would be, and Kakashi totally secretly telling the Hokage that basically that's one of Orochimaru's like henchmen like Kabuto's like self-present uh, present in like the arena somewhere. Like basically, like that information as to like all that happened at until that point with like Iba and everything. Basically, like Kakashi revealing that to like the Hokage, it's like the scenario that I'm considering. So like from that point on, like Hokage being like absolutely sure that basically definitely like an attack from Orochimaru would most likely take place within that before like the two next and like would be like along the lines like the Hokage would be and all of them would be like absolutely sure at that point it's definitely my personal interest. So like from that point maybe like about the like the Hokage looks with like the absolute self like telling Kakashi to like make necessary preparations like for like an attack on that very arena. The definitely members of the and they would all be like totally expecting most likely before like the Sasuke versus Gaara fight ends like basically most likely an attack to take place and maybe targeting Sasuke as well. Would be like along the lines they would be thinking, but like still with like them arranging like the necessary preparations to like prepare for like a counter attack is like or a Kimaru or when to make an attack on that very arena. Like I'm also still like the Sasuke versus Gaara fight like ending without like basically any sort of like such attack. Like so like but still I'm also like the Hokage being like a lot more alert from that point on. It's like not just Hokage but like Kakashi as well as guys and as well as and like I'm also like the Hokage to even tell Kakashi to like spread the word to like all the other joint teachers as well. So like that way like all the other joint teachers as well like watching like the two next one matches like with like that absolute preparation prepared and alert feeling and basically to expecting like an attack at any moment like the scenario that I'm about to bring. So like that way like the village at least a certain piece of like the ninjas and like the important joining level ninjas and like the Hokage being like being able to be in like a state of like even more of like an alertness as like the twin exams would be continuing. It's definitely my personal theory impression as of like the scenario that I'm also all about it. Okay, so like definitely my personal theory impression right now it's like stuff here looking like absolute sphere like basically circling around Gaara like I'm considering like uh, totally contrary to like how Rocky had basically circled around Gaara before like launching his like gate before opening his gate and launching his like gate Lord's attack. Like I'm considering the case of Sasuke, like I'm considering prepping for it to not be a big lot of attack. But because like that would be totally predictable for Gaara, especially since like Gaara having gone through like the entire battle against like Rocky seems like it would be far too predictable for Gaara if like Sasuke were to like launch a lot of attack. And also especially because of that method the impressions that like Kakashi might have definitely after like seeing like the consequence of like roughly fighting using like the gates attack, like definitely I wasn't the impressions that like Kakashi might have after like seeing like witnessing like the consequence of like roughly that roughly then through due to like opening for those like great number of gates and basically using like a lot of attack and everything like I'm totally putting Kakashi at that point itself might have fixed in his mind to like never teach Sasuke or make Sasuke do like train Sasuke to like use any of the games techniques at all. So definitely my personal render. So like I'm going to pretty well like the cut fear of Sasuke. So fear of Sasuke which is like Sasuke even circling around Gaara. Like I'm going to bring it to precisely through the very same technique which like Kakashi has found like a ridiculous or like the technique of like using weight to like increase like the space which like roughly that which like guys and they used on roughly I'm going to bring Kakashi might have only use that exact technique from Sasuke to like get Sasuke to like reach within the bathroom to like actually get Sasuke to like the current levels of speed in which like Sasuke is in. That's definitely my personal ambition. So And as for like the gates technique, definitely Sasuke won't be using like Sasuke won't be knowing any of like the gates techniques at all. And Kakashi might have definitely concentrated that to like not at all teach Sasuke any of like the gates techniques at all. Like that's the last thing Kakashi would be wanting would be to like Sasuke relying on any of the gates techniques. So like I'm also bringing this would be like a total suspense and surprise would be precisely what Sasuke Kakashi might be precisely planning to precisely especially like even in like Sasuke's like initial battle in like the preliminaries as well, like Sasuke didn't use any of his jutsus at all. Like I'm preferring like and even in that first battle, like basically Sasuke had in fact used like one of the uh, without I think like Sasuke used to like the basic form of like a lot of technique without even opening any of like the gate. Was like how Sasuke even fought off in his like very first match in like preliminaries of the Junetsu. But like I'm considering right now for Gaara, I'm most likely expecting something like that. But like I'm considering right now with like Sasuke circling around Gaara, like with that extremely high pace, like I'm considering right now Sasuke to like circle around Gaara and basically as Sasuke is like circling around Gaara, I'm considering sort of different Sasuke to like use some sort of a jutsu attack. It's like definitely consideration like either an ninjutsu or like a genjutsu. Certainly not going to be a taijutsu. I'm certainly something like an ninjutsu or like a genjutsu attack out of like Sasuke right now, which would be like super effective at like Gaara, like which would be only like would be like such an unexpected and absolute surprise for Gaara, who would never be able to like foresee such a thing happening. Sasuke even using any of his like jutsu attack. It's definitely my personal favorite. So like Gaara taking a direct hit from like that first jutsu attack out of Sasuke. Definitely my personal favorite. So like maybe I'm considering maybe like Sasuke circling around Gaara and basically with that high pace and basically Sasuke will be running around Gaara like Sasuke like using his like hand signs and basically using his like fire breathing jutsu while circling around Gaara like basically that way encircling Gaara with like that absolute blast of flame is like the other possible scenario that I'm also putting up about like how Sasuke right now attacking Gaara is definitely not going to reimburse. So like definitely not going to reimburse right now with like Sasuke being able to like reach like the very exact same level of speed as like Rockly as during in like Rockly fight against Gaara, precisely when Rockly had taken off his weight. Like I'm also putting like exactly as to like how exactly Kakashi might have potentially achieved that on Sasuke precisely just within just like a single 1 month period. Definitely my personal impression that in the case of Rock Lee, like in the case of like the training given by guys and Sage for Rock Lee, like I'm remembering that it might have taken a great number of years for like a Rock Lee, even though like weight training has absolutely nothing to do with like any sort of skills. So still my personal impression that like for Rock Lee to like attain like the levels of speed in this like a Rock Lee fought up against Gaara while removing his weights, like basically not for Rockly to like attain that level of speed, like precisely what guys and players, how guys they might have trained properly, might have been through precisely like uh, through precisely like short weights initially and then gradually over the years, like gradually increase, slowly increasing the weights into like reaching like the levels of weights that Rocky had basically displayed when Rocky removed those weights during like Rocky's fight against Jara. Technical concentration. But in the case of Kakashi, like I'm remembering, Kakashi might have like used another kind of like a brilliant strategy to like get Sasuke's like speed to like the levels of that of Rocky without the weight what the best strategy that Kakashi might have used would be like since like it's only they had only a single 1 month period time period alone to like reach for Kakashi to train Sasuke to like reach Rockly's level to speed like what Kakashi might have done might have been precisely what Kakashi might have precisely done might have been precisely Kakashi might have totally strict Sasuke's mind. It's definitely even doesn't range them precisely because like I'm different what Kakashi might have done might have been like precisely Kakashi might have put on weight on like Sasuke that was even greater than the weight that Rock Lee has displayed during his fight against Gaara. Like Kakashi might have straight away put on weight that was even greater than that Rock Lee's weight. Definitely my confidence. And Sasuke might have been like straight away the especially since like I think like Sasuke had in fact like seen that whole fight of Rock Lee versus the right thing. Like basically anyway, Sasuke might have like totally felt it that weird to like have such extreme weight on Sasuke. So like I'm bring that way like Kakashi might have totally pushed Sasuke to the extreme to like basically uh, even when Sasuke might have initially straight away felt like the moment Sasuke uh, all those extreme weights were put on to like Sasuke. Sasuke might have straight away like felt that this would never be possible. Like, but like I'm considering Kakashi might have maybe trick Sasuke into like maybe thinking that basically this was like the actual precise weight that Rocky had trained in. Like maybe like that might have been what Kakashi done. Like Kakashi might have tricked Sasuke into like basically believing that like this was like the actual uh precise quantity of like weights that basically Rocky had trained to achieve the speed in which like Rocky fought off against Gaara recently. That way, only Kakashi might have put added up even more greater weight than Rockly has trained with onto like for Sasuke and basically that way trick Sasuke's mind and that way push and force Sasuke into like being able to like move and train with like weights that were even superior and greater to like the weights in which like Rockly had trained. It was definitely my personal impression. And so even the those weights like Sasuke might have only struggled to properly even move like I'm preparing by the time like the eventually like the 1 month period were over like I'm preparing like by the time like the weights were removed out of Sasuke like Sasuke might have like because like Kakashi is only due to like most likely some Kakashi tricking Sasuke's mind like Sasuke he might have that way quickly within just a short 1 month period might have precisely reached like the very exact same level of speed as that of roughly back when roughly removed like the weights and was like fighting off against like Gaara. It's definitely my consideration. So this might be precisely and exactly how Kakashi might have totally used up just like the first 1 month, short 1 month period to like get onto like the very same levels of speed as that of Rocky. It's definitely my consideration. And right now, because there's only something like guys that they should like totally be blown away as to like how exactly Kakashi achieved the through Sasuke. Like so, like I'm different. Like and this would be like that one main factor that would always be like that main factor that always keeps Kakashi ensures that Kakashi always stays way stronger than like guys and especially not the Rand, especially because like guys and thinking would be like straightforward and just hard work. It would be like especially Rockley as well. This might have only precisely inspired Rockley as well. Definitely Michael Anderson. But in like the case of like Kakashi, it would be like more of like the smart work and out of the box thinking than like just smart work, than just hard work. Like I'm about to bring like guys and they would be like man of hard work, while Kakashi would be like a man of smart work, and hence why like I'm about to bring guys and say maybe like Takashi's smart work might have always like outsmarted and always stayed a bit further up in terms of like strength and skills and fighting skills and overall fighting strength when compared to like it will give especially through that method of like smart work that like Kakashi might have the guys and they might have never into like might have ever been able to like defeat or pass or defeat or even get close to like or even turn a fight against like Kakashi into a draw ever. And I think they might have never in his life might have ever fought at or fought and defeat Kakashi ever in like a fight. It's definitely my personal opinion. Yet like guys and Kakashi might have in like the past might have fought off against each other in like good rival turns in for like multiple great number of times in like the past. It's definitely my personal opinion. But still, each and every single time it would be like only a Kakashi that will be like offering and defeating guys and the Indians. It's definitely my personal opinion. So like especially that smart like out of the box thinking and like smart work of Kakashi would be what right now in full display with like Sasuke basically with Sasuke within just a short 1 month period being able to like reach like Rock Lee's levels of speed is definitely my personal opinion. Like, definitely I'm specific to my personal questions that like guys and they would be totally so extremely wrong about like the supplement of psychiatry that basically and guys and they would be totally wrong speak even naively guys and they would be totally naively think that like actually have only fought Sasuke Taijutsu alone just because of like Sasuke like a movie that like great speed similar to that of like Rock Lee's definitely my personal range. Like guys and they would be like a cast that comes to be so single minded and would be coming to that conclusion to like a real shift especially my experience, and that being like a total stand up with weakness of life and there's also definitely not information like I think there would be like a minor in the research, I think there would be a castle that's like kind of susceptible to like trickery and all that. It's also like a possibility of like guys in the castle is also definitely not in the language. So definitely my positive impression definitely that like Kakashi would be like actually betting it all on like the precise ninjutsu as well as like genjutsu that Kakashi would have also precisely trained Sasuke during this whole past 1 month period. It's definitely my positive impression. That would be what Kakashi would be precisely and mainly betting it all on for like Sasuke to be able to like defeat Gaara. Definitely not on the and like the Taijutsu training that Kakashi gave to Sasuke to make Sasuke to like attain or reach like the levels of fear that are probably that might have been like only intended to like so that like Sasuke to for Sasuke to be able to like dodge like the standard like of like Gaara as for and that's like only like the evasiveness I don't know like the it might have been definitely the only intent behind that teaching like the that so getting Sasuke to reach that level of skill definitely might have been like the only intent behind that even teaching Sasuke all that Taijutsu and everything is definitely my personal generation. So Taijutsu training and everything is definitely my personal generation. As for like the attack, like basically as for like attack it would be precisely like Sasuke being able to like being trained by Kakashi to be able to like facilitate to like make it to a pillar Genjutsu, which would be like the next biggest stop for like for guys and say it's definitely my personal version. So that's like the scenario that I'm developing. But still, even with all that I'm developing, with like all science having passed and basically Sasuke like basically and Gaara still haven't brought out his like absolute true giant fancier form like I'm suffering that. But when it will be exactly when that moment arrives that basically all of like the training that Kakashi would have given to Sasuke all will be eventually ending up being pointless. So definitely members of the Rangers. Also right now with like all this time passing and basically even none of like the Anbu Black Ops even infiltrating into like Sasuke's fight. I'm also leaning more towards like the possibility of maybe Sasuke losing to Gaara fair and square even after giving it Sasuke giving it just everything against Gaara. But like once like Gaara brings out his like Sand Spirit actual true Sand Spirit giant Sand Spirit form like basically it being like game over for Sasuke or like the other only possible scenario that I'm totally pressing is basically Sasuke's fight performance like going well sorely for Sasuke, but like I'm considering eventually Gaara bringing out his stance and even then like I'm considering Sasuke is usually keeping up his like fight performance using his like ninjutsu as well as genjutsu as well as his Sharingan and everything. So but still I'm considering like as like things were only looking good for Sasuke. Like I'm considering a single like infiltration, stealthy infiltration of like an attack from one of like the Anbu Black into like the fight performance, and that causing like a major that usually affecting that third party unfair interference into like that fight, like basically causing Sasuke to like seriously that kind of Sasuke causing like Sasuke's fight performance to be like seriously affected. So that like from that point on, like I'm suffering fight instantly turning one side of the like Gaara using like giant and with form like it's tournament delay like totally like overscoring and defeating Sasuke taking a lot of bad injuries and Sasuke being like defeated and like none of them being able to like recognize what has happened to Sasuke really because of like that third party unfair interference affecting Sasuke would be like most likely executed with that absolute self perfect self that like everyone will be kind of confused as to like what of happened to like Sasuke's fight performance and especially that being like eventual being big like Sasuke will be like losing to Gaara. It's like the other possible scenario that I'm just going especially the reason for the transmission mine is definitely my personal theory is that impression specifically because like of like Naruto having only defeated Neji, but like since like Sasuke is like fighting off against like Gaara is like who's like obviously a lot more superiorly stronger than even Neji. Like I'm bringing also connecting that with like basically Naruto being like the protagonist of the show, like definitely because of all the reason I'm those little different Sasuke to like definitely not be able to like defeat Gaara and Sasuke eventually finally eventually resulting in like losing to Gaara. And so that like Naruto would be like having that whole eventually having that whole path for like the ultimate spotlight for like the protagonist Naruto to have this ultimate moment by Naruto defeating like that one taking the role of like the protagonist and the ultimate strong protagonist that even finally has surpassed Sasuke and basically by like in like a Naruto versus Gaara fight, like Naruto like defeating like the person that has defeated Sasuke, like basically that way Naruto asserting to like superiority in terms of like fighting skills and strength as like a ninja, even over Sasuke and Gaara simultaneously. Like it's like the more likely possible scenario that I'm totally only parting right now and my closing theory and prediction. So like I definitely come to think and also like most of Naruto not even seeing like his friend like Sasuke's fight at all. Like I'm just trying to do the facility to like that extreme fear and that's concerned towards Sasuke that might lie within Naruto that Naruto be like absolutely fearful of like basically even witnessing like Sasuke getting like badly injured and then he made to suffer through Gaara that like Naruto might be so kind of like soft hearted that basically Naruto might have not had like the courage until now to basically go up there and watch like his best friend Sasuke's match. Certainly not looking to remember like how second the possibility. So like right now all of a sudden like Naruto deciding to like go up to Kakashi. My personal reaction would be precisely because like now finally Naruto might have formed that might have finally got that courage within him to like precisely and hence why all this time like Naruto's legs were shaking. It's definitely my personal reaction. But like right now Naruto might have finally formed that courage, like got that courage to like precisely and it would be precisely with like Naruto currently right now thinking that basically that Naruto currently would be totally thinking that if Sasuke fight, if the fight between like Gaara and Sasuke keeps on going, like Gaara would eventually definitely take the life of Sasuke. Will be that absolute fear that might lie within Naruto right now. But like Naruto right now would be having like the courage to like basically go up to Kakashi and tell Kakashi to and personally totally bring Naruto what the Naruto would be telling to Kakashi would be to like to safely stop the man. It's definitely my Sundari and so the reason being like Naruto totally feeling that like he must do something or else like Sasuke would definitely die. Uh, Naruto would from Naruto's point of view, Naruto would be feeling that as like the absolute realization, especially because of Naruto totally believing that it was just precisely his like ideology or was like his reason of living being especially to be a Hokage. The sole reason for Naruto being able to make it this far so like since Gaara's like a reason to live is basically takes the life of everyone around him, especially that having a lot of significance and importance and impact and that would like eventually totally result in like this current fight between Gaara and Sasuke eventually resulting in like Sasuke dying by the hands of Gaara. Just absolute fear would be absolutely present within Naruto and especially because of the story of Naruto telling Kakashi to like stop the match and tell Sasuke to like forfeit would be what Naruto would be totally telling to Kakashi and then Kakashi totally talking back to like Naruto and making Naruto and Kakashi totally scolding Naruto and making Naruto understand that basically this is not a fight. Like this is one time that like basically Kakashi telling and teaching Naruto and scolding Naruto that basically Naruto doesn't get like the privilege to like interfere in an unfair manner to like interfere into like each and everybody's like battle as Naruto places like as that basically Naruto is like exactly like the equal as to like any other person sitting in like the audience and that like Naruto should like just keep quiet and sit down just like everybody else and basically that this is like Sasuke's fight and this is not Naruto's fight and so like Naruto should just keep quiet and just what Sasuke's fight as Sasuke would be destroying Gaara would be what Kakashi most likely would be along the lines would be what Kakashi would be telling Naruto definitely one of the things and that would be due to like that absolute extreme confidence that Kakashi would be and confidence and faith that Kakashi would be having to on Sasuke and on his like training that he gave to Sasuke. Definitely my personal Remington. But like I'm totally different still for like eventually for like Gaara once like Gaara brings out of like original like Sanskrit like giant Sanskrit form like at that point like eventually like fight resulting in like Gaara defeating Sasuke. It's like the definite scenario that I'm only putting in my personal Remington. And definitely I'm totally putting like before Sasuke even being defeated by Gaara like I'm putting Gaara would be like taking his time and basically making Sasuke suffer a lot. It's definitely my personal ringers. So like I'm putting Naruto that's like totally create kind of like a trauma and like an extreme shock within Naruto. That's definitely my personal ringers. So like I'm considering once like the fight between Gaara and Sasuke would be over and Gaara would have defeated and left the stage. Like I'm considering like Naruto and once like Gaara will be like leaving the stage. Like I'm considering like precisely Gaara most likely since like Gaara's next match would be like at that point would be like against like Naruto and considering before leaving the stage like I'm considering Gaara totally staring and looking towards like Naruto who would be like shaking in like the audience. It's definitely my remember like Gaara from like the stage like giving that absolute stare scary stare towards like Naruto. And I'm remembering this time, unlike in this case, like I'm remembering this time Naruto would be like totally won't be like feeling like a sense of like wanting to like get revenge on Gaara or anything. Instead, like Naruto would be like totally trembling and shaking with fear, seeing like how Gaara had basically caused so much suffering to even Sasuke the current. So like basically Naruto only right then thinking that basically it would be eventually his turn next to basically go through the very same kind of like suffering as Sasuke went through, or maybe like those suffering is even eventually leading to like Naruto's death. Like basically Naruto being consumed with this extreme fear is like the scenario that I'm basically referring until Naruto with his like trembling feet would be like making it to like precisely is Naruto fight against Gaara. Definitely my person remember. So like I'm referring Kakashi or being able like especially sense how much like Naruto would be is like feeling scared of Gaara, but like I'm about to bring Kakashi only giving advices to Naruto and trying to make Naruto understand that basically trying to make Naruto understand that basically this whole part of like being a ninja, like basically a ninja is not a profession. It's not meant for like the ones who are like who don't have like courage to like basically go through all this. Like along the lines of Kakashi delivering that hard truth to Naruto and scolding Naruto like the scenario that was different, but still delivering the thing Naruto being so uh, Naruto being once again being like acting extremely immature and basically Naruto once again like still not immature but still not Naruto still like even like through that Kakashi will be delivering to Naruto still not being able to change Naruto at all. So like I'm remembering eventually once Naruto fight against like once it would be time for like Naruto fight against Gaara, like I'm remembering Naruto even entering like the stage, the trembling and shaking feet, just like the scenario that I'm remembering. But like I'm remembering once like the fight between Naruto and Gaara starts and initially I'm remembering Naruto to like make a lot of mistakes and a lot of mess with like basically Naruto due to like Naruto's extreme fear towards Gaara, but like I'm remembering after like the fight from the but the Naruto eventually slowly through the whole process against like Gaara would be how Naruto would be slowly gaining back like enough courage. It will be like only at that point as like the fight between Naruto and Gaara would be producing that embassy. Naruto slowly being able to like get back his like courage and basically as like the fight reaches a certain point, Naruto totally fully overcoming his fear and basically then Naruto starting to like give Gaara advices exactly like how Naruto gave and maybe his like casual advice. Basically remembering that him giving like Gaara as well a lot of advices and basically so like the feeling of the impression right now is like Tanjiro being like totally worried with like Gaara using that jutsu. Like definitely that jutsu would be like the precise exact that precise jutsu that Gaara uses to basically using his like Dara will be like turning himself into like that ultimate sand monster, that true giant sand spirit form. Especially when the new anything, which might have been like that surprise sand spirit form, using which like Dara might have taken the life of that precise South Village ninja, leader ninja, especially members in the impression, like the middle of the night, the name members in the impression, or like the precise situation with this like precise jutsus that like precisely scares Kankuro so much and those different it might be precisely like the main factor would be precisely is that like until now like basically when Gara fights it's just like normal form like basically even though Gara would be like controlled by like the sand spirits still controlled by like the sand spirits still like there would be like in Gara's conscious like there would be still a bit of like Gara still left so that like Dara won't be like totally unconscious, fighting in like a totally and absolutely fully unconscious manner, even while being controlled by Sand Spirit currently. It's definitely my physical immersion, but like I'm considering, and as in like there would be at least like Gara would still be able to like even while there would be that extreme realistic nature within like Gara to like take subject life into right match still. Gara would still be having like a certain level of control in Gara's actions still. It's definitely my secondary immersion, but like when my secondary immersion so like once like that's useful of like basically most likely would be like turning Gara into like his like giant Sanskrit form like once that Gaara performs that jutsu, what might happen would be like fully like Gaara would like the actual person Gaara would be totally going unconscious, and basically Gaara like the only thing Gaara would be like totally full and fully and absolutely fully there. Gaara won't even exist at that point. Like it would be just like a the Sanskrit alone like existing, like the giant Sanskrit alone existing, and basically like the giant Sanskrit in its like full like form in its like absolute form would be precisely happening the uncontrollable sense like in its like absolute force and fullest form would be precisely happening through the precise juices of Ga which like through which like Gara would be turning himself into like not only in mind but also in like appearance as well. Basically Gara would be transforming and basically turning into like the most giant sand spirit. It's definitely my person very much. And at that point, like Gara would be so extremely dangerous that basically like because like Gara would be having like absolutely even not even like the remotest bit of control over Gara at all. Like from that point on, like Gara's actions would have like no absolutely no like limitations or anything as to like basically this being like Gara fight against us, being like part of the student exam and all that like basically all that like both of like awareness would totally escape Gara's mind at all. Totally once like Gara uses this jutsu and turns himself into like the Sanskrit giant Sanskrit form, it's definitely my personal emergence. This might be that as we fear within Kansuro. It's definitely my personal emergence that like maybe Gara possibly no totally through this to like control totally expecting like Gara to like totally and fully lose control and fully being taken over by the Sanskrit that basically the possibility of like the Sanskrit like basically not only attacking like Sasuke and taking the life of Sasuke but also like recklessly and uncontrollably attacking even like the audience and basically trying to take the life of the audience and everything basically like things spiraling into like such a chaos through Gara through the Sanskrit in Gara like basically through once through the text uses would be like that absolute fear and worry within Kansuro right now. It's definitely my positive intention.